Hi there, all you lovers of magical entertainment. After about 2 years, my channel finally hit 250 subscribers.
Great job.
Yeah! And because of that, I'm going to give away today a super cool, easy to do and impromptu card trick. So let's do this right now. Let's say you're at a party and someone brings out a deck of cards saying, "Well, I've heard you're into magic. What about showing us a trick?" Here's what you're gonna do. Before you even take the deck to do some serious card magic with it, have some random fellow shuffle the cards first. Now, most likely, you're gonna see something like this. And it's really cute because spectators usually take it very seriously shuffling the cards, as if they could change something about what is going to happen. Sometimes they even check on the job, making sure the cards are shuffled real good. However, if someone takes the cards and starts shuffling like a pro, you might want to consider getting out of there. No, I'm just kidding. This trick really does the job. Because all that's happening furthermore is that a spectator is going to cut the deck wherever he or she pleases. You see how amazing this trick is? Basically, the spectator is doing all the work for you, except, of course, you are performing in front of a camera. However, in a live performance, it would be a spectator who cuts the cards. All right then. And now I want you to ask yourself a question. How long you think it takes to identify a single card that has been taken out of a deck? At least a couple of minutes, I'd say. I mean, you would have to rearrange the whole deck, separating all the suits from each other and lay them out from the aces to the kings in order to find the card that has been taken out of the deck somewhere. I mean, just catching a short glimpse at the cards wouldn't help much, right? As if you could go like, well, the card that's missing in this deck is obviously the Jack of Hearts. This would be impossible, right? Well, wrong. Because as a matter of fact, the card we are looking for, which is now missing in this deck, is the Jack of Hearts. What? How did he do that? You really want to know? Well, lucky you, because today I'm going to show you. So let's learn the secret right away. This trick introduces you to 3 fundamental techniques of card magic. First, the glimpse. Second, controlling a card by means of blind shuffling and false cutting. And third, forcing a card. Now all this is basic stuff you can read about in the book The Royal Road to Card Magic. The trick itself represents a framework for countless variations and effects you can build upon it. And this is how you do it. Step 1. After the spectator shuffled the deck, you will show everybody how well the cards are mixed up. At the same time, you're going to glimpse the second card from the bottom and memorize it. Step 2. You will then control the second card from the bottom to the top of the deck. This is one of the first things you learn in the Royal Road to Card Magic. The overhand shuffle, top card next to bottom and back to top. Chapter 1, page 7. Just like that. Add any false card and place the deck onto the table. Step 3. The top card will now be forced by means of the crisscross force, the cross-cut force, or plain and simple, the cut force. This is the easiest, most boldest, and ridiculously deceptive force in card magic. Never tell anyone how this works after fooling them with this. You're gonna piss them off by insulting their intelligence, because it's a nasty cheat. So, glimpse the second card from the bottom. Control it to the top with the overhand shuffle. And then force it with the cross-cut force. Doing so, you create the illusion of a random card being removed from a completely shuffled deck. And the rest is up to your imagination and performance style when you present a knowledge you should not have by simply knowing the suit and value of the card a spectator freely and randomly selected. And now let's talk about why this actually works and also why you can pull this off safe and easy. Performing this trick, You might worry about your audience becoming suspicious about you glimpsing a card and then controlling it to the top. But they won't. First of all, they don't know what you are up to. You're just flattering them by showing everybody how well they shuffle the cards, and then you shuffle them again. And for laymen, shuffling really means mixing up the cards. They don't know about blind shuffling and false cutting. So even if someone gets suspicious about you taking a look at the cards, you immediately will shuffle that suspicion away. Moreover, you are mainly flashing the bottom card while exposing the cards for a brief moment. So even if a very clever and observing spectator who keeps the bottom card in mind and therefore could trace it all back if you would force the bottom card later on, will be fooled. Because you don't. You force the second from the bottom. All this blends together, and when you are about to force the card, a completely mixed up deck is established. Now, the crosscut force works on its own, but by the time you put it to use, there is also no reason for even expecting something sneaky. So by using the crosscut force, the illusion of a random card selected by a spectator out of a completely mixed up deck becomes irresistible. For you as a performer, this means one thing. You can totally relax all the time. Don't be nervous about getting busted. Just relax. Don't rush. Don't try to hide something. Because there is nothing to hide. From the spectator's perspective, nothing really happened when you are all done already. They don't even know they've selected a card before you tell them. They just cut to a random position in a mixed up deck of cards. Though you are safe, still you must not be struggling with the moves. Any hesitation or irritation will cause the spectator to realize something's going on, from which the illusion will suffer. Therefore, let's have a look at the proper handling of the cards. The glimpse happens in the blink of an eye. Spreading the cards, naturally you're getting a good look at the second from the bottom. Continue running through the cards and then square them up. Naturally, you're going to flash the bottom card. Don't make too much of a deal out of it. Simply show how well the cards are all mixed up, but make sure to memorize the target card. The key to controlling cards with the overhand shuffle is to be able to switch between shuffling multiple cards and running single cards. If you can't do this, and there's a tutorial on my channel which will teach you. Once you mastered the overhand shuffle, controlling the second card from the bottom to the top is a piece of cake. Slightly push your second and third fingers against the bottom card and thereby remaining it in your left hand while shuffling off the first bunch of cards from the top of the deck. This brings the target card to the bottom of the cards in your right hand. Keep on shuffling multiple cards until you reach a small portion of cards in your right hand. Now start running single cards until the very end and control the target card to the top in this manner. For the false card, I would recommend this beauty here. I call it the Trinity Shifter. And there's also a tutorial for this one on my channel. And you really want to have this in your repertoire. But of course, any false card works. You want to do a flourishing style kind of thing? Go ahead. I don't care. The crosscut force works like this. Ask the spectator to cut the deck fairly in half, and he or she does so. Then mark the cut by simply placing the lower portion crosswise upon the upper portion. At the same time, occupy the spectator's mind with a question. What is your name? Are you a professional? You did this very well. Did you hear about the latest cases of alien abduction in town? Whatever. The point is to casually draw the attention away from the picture you are creating with the cards. And by the time you come back to it, their brains will tell them that the card you're now taking out of the deck comes from its very center where they have cut to. And once again, there's absolutely no heat on all this happening. So just be calm and natural and head straight forward to the presentation of the effect. What I did in the performance was to pretend I could find a missing card in a shuffled deck with just catching one short glimpse at it. But of course, this is just one way of doing it. Go ahead and read the spectator's mind, or future, or past, or all together. Or use this as an opportunity to practice the magician's choice and make the spectator speak out the card before you reveal it. That kind of doubles the effect. Or what about this? Tell the spectator that it really doesn't matter which card he cut to, because you're gonna make it disappear anyways, just to play along with the card you want to. Say the Joker, and bang! You can do a back palm card vanish? No problema. Do the same thing super easy and even more magical. Put the card into the hands of the spectator and again, tell him or her, you know it really doesn't matter which card you cut to, because I can turn a card into any other, let's say the Joker. Abracadabra. And the magic happens in their hands. The key for every strong magic is to involve your audience and to stimulate their imagination. If you succeed in this, you will have people remember you doing impossible things you never did. They will say, I met a magician and this guy had me choose any card and then turned it into another one right in my hands. This is how awesome you can be with a simple trick like this one. Thanks again for subscribing to my channel. This is just too much fun. So be sure, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very soon. And now, let's get the party started.